Sorry.
Hi, I'm Daquan. I'm an 8th grader, and this is my 3rd year in CAS. This year I play the role of Rooster Hannigan. I also play the role of the fake father of Annie. Thank you for your support this year. Also, we got a shirt for Mr. Sell.
Now you
Song here now.
this cast is available on the poster. You're just about sold out for Friday already, so hopefully we will see you Thursday, February 26th.
Theater, theater@gmail.com.
Thank you
There's
very much.
parents on that all the time checking and doing the student assignments. I think we have about maybe 10 to 12 seats left for Friday, so I would recommend acting fast because I know a bunch of kids will go
Okay,
in.
what is the email again?
VMStheater@gmail.com. We are about 60% open for Thursday night.
For Thursday?
Yeah, and we have a couple of daytime performances. The elementary schools will come up Friday during the day, and then Thursday we'll do a showing for some of the classes in our school.
Thank you very much.
Thank
You, and ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much. I'm very proud of you. Was there someone else that had something else to say? Did someone not
Kendall
speak?
forgot to introduce herself.
That's okay.
Hi, my name is Kendall McNamara. I'm in 6th grade, and I'm involved in the cast.
Okay, thank you. All righty, that was, okay, Kathy's, all right, moving along. Public participation, the board welcomes public participation and asks that speakers please limit their comments to 3 minutes. Speakers may offer objective comments of school operations and programs that concern them. The board will not permit any expression of personal complaints or defamatory comments about Board of Education personnel and/or students. The school system. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak in the first row? Seeing none, second row. Third row? Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak? Seeing none, we're moving right on to the consent calendar. Kathy?
That the Board of Education approves the items on the consent calendar, exhibits 15 through 28 through 15-32 as recommended.
Second by Mr. Gianelli. Any discussion or comments? I have a comment. I would like everyone to notice that in the retirements that we have, Kenny Allsworth is retiring after 43 years with our system. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Allsworth, and Ms. Howard for 29 years. Thank you very, very much. I also would like to thank Pitney Bowes for their donation of $8,809 to replace the broken and missing basketball hoops at King Street School. And thank the STA for donating the van. What van is that?
2001 Chevy Ecoline van.
No, I know, I understand it's not hot van, but is that the van that we've been using, that Jackie's been using?
No, that one was already accepted. This is for one of our maintenance workers who's currently using his private vehicle.
He's using his private vehicle?
Yeah.
God bless our employees. All right. Thank you very much. Is there an employee representative that would like to speak? Okay, seeing none, student representatives. I see one. And you are?
Tyler Emerald.
Okay, Emerald, Tyler, you need to use the microphone.
Just get him set up there.
Thank you.
I'm Tyler Emerald, the student representative for today. I'd like to talk about sports to begin with. The boys basketball team's been doing well. The best they've done in 5 years so far. They're 10-4, and boys and girls track are keeping up the dynasty. They just both won first place at the most recent tournament. Jess Robbins, a student of ours, was featured in the Dan Marie News Times recently. We just hosted the ACT and we're hosting the SAT on February 21st. And there's a freshman forum being hosted next month in March about underage drinking and substance use.
Thank you very much. Who's the girls' basketball team? All right, thank you very much. All right, there's nobody here from ACE. All right. Our presentation is here, the people from the city that are standing there waiting patiently for us to get through the art stuff. Gentlemen, if you come in and introduce yourselves and get started.
Antonio from the city will introduce the panel, but early this evening, we had a joint meeting between 20 Committee, which is the Mayor's Committee for Building and Growth, and our Facilities Group. They went through a number of options and accepted option C. We're excited about option C. It offers us a lot of the expanded opportunities for our youngsters, while it also promotes our magnet program at the high school, school within the school for our early college programming, and also for our freshman program. And there's some other enhancements we'll get into this evening. So what the plan is to go through C this evening, and then the group will have to work with me, the board, for the ed specs, and it'll go back to the town, and they'll work through the system. So, Antonio, maybe you can introduce everybody and get going.
Good evening again. As Sal said, we're on a very critical path to move this project through all the various approvals, mostly very time-consuming approvals from the state. Requires a number of local approvals. We start with you guys. Sal will prepare the ed specs. We eventually push our way through a June 30th deadline to submit an application to the state, which will, if accepted, they'll actually fund a portion of this project. So we don't want to miss that June 30th date. And we're very good working together with the Board of Education. We have never missed a deadline. So who I have here with me tonight is Joe Fuller from Fuller D'Angelo. Joe's worked on numerous projects for us in the district. He actually helped us plan the various additions and renovations to the grammar school and middle school that were just completed. And Joe knows the district very well. He spent a lot of time with the educators at the high school to understand their needs. He spent a lot of time with us to talk about some other needs within the school that we'd like to address along with this addition. And in my painless job with this one option here, which is going to go over with you really quick. I also have Fareed Khoury, who is our city engineer. Fareed will eventually work with, they work together now, but they will really be married together as we work our way through the state process, through the design of this project, and ultimately to the point where we get it out to bid and we start construction. And then I have another team that takes it through construction. So I'm very pleased to work on another project with the Board of Education. We've had nothing but success. We had a couple bumps in the road, but everybody's always been very understanding, and we really, really appreciate the mutual respect that you show us. So without any further delay, Joe, if you want to express some of the highlights of option C.
Yes, thank you, Antonio. Good evening, everyone. At Fuller and D'Angelo Architects and Planners, we design educational facilities. Having done Staples High School in Westport, as I mentioned to some of you, and the Academy of Information Technology in Stanford, again, we know your systems. Studied reports, study concepts for Danbury High School 2020. As you can see here on the aerial view of the model, if you would, and the model I have here in front of me, if any of you would like to take a closer look at it, it's a take-apart descriptive model, and it shows how all of the various entrances and exits work. we've currently looked at 4 different concepts in 4 different buildable areas: Area A, Area B, Area C, and Area D. And all of us have come to the conclusion that the Area C or Concept C solution works the best educationally, student flow, and for all the amenities that it brings to the various concepts. It's basically a gymnasium on the grade level of all of the fields and 2 academic floors above that. The academic floors then tie back into the existing academic building D, so that as various grades come up through the lower schools and middle school into the high school, and even within the high school, grade 9 gets a little bigger, grade 10 gets a little bigger, 11, 10 goes smaller. Everything can be channeled in and out of this academic area and very easily resized on a year-to-year basis as far as what grades take up what certain spaces within the school. Here you can see the gymnasium at the lower grade, the connection to the various building D and the other hubs. All of the yellow indicate the corridors and the orange are the stairwells. So you can see how well this configuration of student flow works. And here you'll be coming in the front entrance and going directly back into the main new addition. It also connects to building D in 2 areas, creating an academic loop, if you would. This was another concept we studied, Concept D. Coming back to Concept C and getting into the various floor plans. Again, on the lowest floor, there would be a gymnasium with a boys and girls locker room and 2 health classrooms. All of these spaces, again, support the fields which are adjacent to same. 2 levels up, because a gymnasium is a double height space, you would have 12 general purpose classrooms with an office for supervision and also to help facilitate the floor. On the top floor, you would have science rooms, art rooms, and also an office, as we've coordinated well with the administrators. And as far as their program is concerned, they would like to have 1 office on every floor. With regard to how this building works in section, on the lower right-hand portion here, you can see the field level. You can see the existing building D and Concept C, which attaches to building D through 2 bridges. So again, you'll come through from the front entrance, you'll go half up or half down to the existing stair platform, where we will simply break through the wall with 2 new bridges and be able to access the 2 new floors. It's a very economical way to attach to the existing building. Here are some preliminary elevations looking from the field. Again, the gymnasium takes up 2 floors on the bottom along with the locker rooms. These are actually the health classrooms on the outside facing east, and 2 floors of classroom. The nice part about this concept also is that it is expandable 1 further floor up to add more classrooms in the future should the district require to have those needs. We would build the staircases and the elevator overrun at this point upwards, so that access to the roof for science projects and other type of activities can be held when the project is completed. Lastly, we will be expanding the cafeteria area by putting a curtain wall along the outside of the current canopy. So we'll be able to accommodate approximately another 120 children during each lunch period, and or during the 4 lunch periods, 480 to 500 students. Also, the new front entrance of the school would be greatly enhanced. One of the program activities that is being considered is to move the school store inside this vestibule so that the entire school building does not need to be open, however, just to access the store, but the store can be open longer hours and at different times so that people could simply come inside and do their shopping and then leave again. But it greatly enhances the front entrance. It creates a vestibule, a new image for the school, along with new paneling to help enhance the experience at the Danbury High School. Concept C. Thank you.
So some of the, and board members, some of the other items of work that we're looking to incorporate into this project is, as you know, the roofs at the school are really ready to be replaced. So there is about a $6.5 million project that will be a phase of this expansion. We are also looking at some other supporting utility structures such as electrical systems, a new generator that will also be part of this project.
That wing is air conditioned, correct?
This new wing will be air conditioned, that's correct, yeah. So it's not only just the addition here, there's another, I don't want to put a price tag on it, but I could say easily $10 million worth of additional supplemental work that will support this addition.
We're also looking at much like we did with the other places, there are add-ons depending on how the prices come in. One of the things that we're looking at, we're talking about the Lyceum, the auditorium, the small block.
That's correct, yeah.
We'll show it on here.
I don't know if he's got it on this slide.
It's here on the building.
The
Building app.
the automotive area there, that could be turned into a small theater where we could have performance. You know, most of our performances happen in the auditorium, so we could have a series of workshop plays for youngsters. They could have small concerts there, and that could also be an entryway to the stadium somehow if it could be configured properly. We relocate the programs that are there, mainly the introduction to automotive. The advanced automotive is not the one that's been going very much, so, but the introduction courses can be placed in another sector. But that's only if there's funds available. And,
Yeah, those would be an add alternate.
But the cafeteria is not an add alternate.
No, the cafeteria is part of the base design and will be part of the, if you will, base scope.
And is the air part of the base design?
Yes.
Okay, so those are base design. The gymnasium is base, the classrooms are base design. What about the front entrance?
That might be an add alternate. As we develop these drawings, we'll actually have complementary cost estimates that'll be done by a professional estimator, and we'll determine, we'll figure how close we are and whether or not we need the buffer to make that an add alternate. But I'm just going to tell you, we all want it. The front of that school needs some enhancement, and it just needs it needs a little makeup. And
Needs the wow factor.
And it needs, yes, yeah. And so we're going to try to do everything we can to get that as part of the base project.
Just a question, we're talking about the roofs and so forth. Is that part of the bid that's going in the
That's correct.
total cost will be part of? Okay,
Yeah.
it's not an add-on.
No, it's not. It would be part of the base bid. It would be just a separate phase.
Okay.
And I think we did mention, we try to take advantage of any rooftop units that we would use for recycling energy if possible, right? I mean, that's something we would look at if it's feasible.
Absolutely. I mean, the new addition will incorporate every feasible energy conserving measure that has, and Joe's really good at this, take advantage of every possible new technology that has a pretty good payback period. And as we design the roof projects, if there's any ventilation units that need to be replaced, if there's anything that has an old motor in it, which is sucking up a lot of energy. We obviously are going to look at replacing that too.
The front of that building, if you look at the indentation, as you move towards the, I guess that would be up towards the north, there, that's where the buses would go in, on an angle, correct?
Yes. So here we have the site plan of the existing parking that we have now. Thank you, Bill. Here's the existing parking now. This is the north side, and this would be the new configuration with more parking and 11 buses here. So again, existing and new. Okay, and this will then be able to handle the increased capacity. At dismissal, buses would be lined up, and they will simply peel off from what we call a 30-degree display, one after the other, not having to back up. Buses and backing up is not a safe situation. So.
Alrighty, Richard?
Antonio, could you, for our record, you make reference to concept C. Would you explain that there were other thought processes, A through D, and that's how you arrived at C? So
Sure. And we didn't want to bore you with what ended up being an over an hour presentation of all the other options, but we forced Joe to really look at every possible opportunity that addition. And to be honest with you, after we really looked at the pros and cons of the other alternatives, and there were a total of 4. This is one of 4. This alternative created incredible connectivity back to the 9th grade center. As Joe mentioned to you, it allows for future flexibility. As one grade expands more than the other, you could reallocate those classrooms back and forth very, very easily. The other nice part about this feature is that the gymnasium and the balance of the addition is all incorporated into one building. All of the other ones require 2 separate building sites, poor connectivity, poor circulation. So this pretty much was hands down when we looked at the advantages that it provided. It's pretty easy to construct, and in my opinion has the lowest impact as far as constructability and disturbance during, we're going to be building this during school. So we always have to take a look at the impact to the operations of the school, and this by far was the we looked at. But we did
The estimated price tag in the 50.
that number down just basically on square foot numbers. It's about $50 million. That includes all those other items that we spoke about.
And then our reimbursement level at 62%. So theoretically, it would cost us about 27 million. I mean, in actual dollars.
That's correct.
Right?
And
if
that,
all that is approved. This fits, I guess what the board needs to know, this fits the requirements from the state for our enrollment projections. Right?
Yep.
So the 3 that Joe is everything we have cement specs to approve the concept, and then they can go to work. The mayor is talking about bringing it to a vote sometime in June, which means it has to get to the council sometime in March.
Yeah,
and then there's a month of public hearing. So, and if that all comes to fruition and it passes through a referendum, then this, we would occupy it when, Joe?
fall of 2018.
2018, we probably have in the springtime ready to move, but we won't open until that summer or that next fall.
Ann Rose has a question.
Just clarification, so I got this right. The 2 floors total would have 12 classrooms, did you say?
It's a total of 26 classrooms.
Class spaces.
Yeah,
Class
spaces.
spaces.
Per floor.
Wait, 26?
No, you said
26 class spaces.
Thank you.
12 classrooms,
12 per
6
floor.
science rooms, 2 art, 2 music, 2
Okay, I'm sorry,
computer.
could you just go a little slower on that one?
Sure.
26 class spaces, 12 classrooms per floor.
12 classrooms on the lower floor, those are general purpose classrooms.
Mm-hmm.
6 art rooms,
Okay.
6 science rooms, sorry. 2 art rooms,
And
2
one more?
music,
Okay.
2 computer, 2 health, 26.
And an office per floor.
1 office per floor.
All right, are there any other questions for these gentlemen? Dave?
Just in looking at the preliminary drawings, I see bridges, I see stairs. If I'm wheelchair bound, how do I get into this building?
There was an elevator designed in the entire concept.
Just, and
Which is-
David, that's a good question.
I
Just
see
so-
classrooms and
just
offices
so
and
you know,
stairs, and I'm going,
Yeah.
That's okay. There's a,
We would never be able to secure any money from the state. They put us through a rigorous process of code review. One of the key code review is ADA compliance. So, and Joe planned this, in my opinion, very well to accommodate ADA. There's an elevator there that
there's an
works
elevator here,
very well.
which works vertically all the way from the gym level, and that means the field level, all the way back into each of these levels and back into the main building. So you would actually be able to go from building D, your academic building, to the field, something that you don't even have now. So not only is this building being built to meet the future needs of enrollment, but it's also supplementing all of, or many other aspects of the existing building and making it better as a whole.
thank you.
Are you saying we're not vertical where we are?
Everyone does the best we can, right?
I have one more question. This is it. One more question, please. Thank you. Go.
So, Dr. Sal, this new building, what's the number of students it could house? Like, I'm thinking 26 class spaces, maybe 25 kids per class, about 600.
It's built for 500.
The capacity.
540.
That's what it's, 540?
I estimate
About
that the
540.
freshman class has been hit about 900.
It'll be hit about a little over 900 at one point, then it goes down next year, potentially it goes up vice versa.
So the current ninth graders, are you saying, or like
No.
2 years?
No, this is,
When you
this is
open
years
that,
ago, yes.
you're thinking 900 for,
That's why it meets, that's what I was trying to say,
Okay.
meets the enrollment specification.
yes.
Times percent gets you.
The board, so I have
Sure, well, as I mentioned, yeah, and I appreciate that. If you can endorse this scenario. C, and I would ask that you prepare the ed specs. We have a tremendous to do now on the city side. As you know, I have sent this to the Common Council, subcommittees of the Common Council. I can't go there without having that ed spec ready to go. So we have plenty of time, but we don't have plenty of time. So whatever you can do to work diligently to do that, whatever we can do to help you with the ed spec, obviously we'll offer Joe to you. But that's really where we need to go next.
Well, as far as us supporting, right now, I'll ask for a consensus of the board that's here,
Thank
since
you.
we're all here. You'll just wait a second, gentlemen, we'll get that together. Starting with Mr. Taversack, right? There's nobody on the other side.
Yes, certainly.
I was wondering how you feel about it.
Well, the Science and Facilities Committee and the chair comment on this, but certainly went through, saw all 4 possibilities, and everything that was said is correct.
Right.
So
you're
certainly I'm all for
you're
it.
good.
Not
Yes.
You just put all those safety bits, bulletproof glass for me.
Well, there's new requirements for that.
Now, what
Okay,
sports?
moving along.
What sports?
Okay, Judge Ron. Action items.
That the Board of Education adopt the superintendent's fiscal year 2015-2016 budget in the amount of $127,529,440, a 4.89% increase for submission to the mayor as required by city charter in accordance with 15-33.
Okay. Oh, okay, it's seconded by Mr. Darazak. All right, ladies and gentlemen, do I hear any questions? Any clarifications? Any discussion? Okay, it was B1, thank you. Michael, thank you.
Just kind of
You got it.
You got it.
The early college director, just a quick question on that, since I guess it kind of falls, because it's new next year, it's kind of falls under the budget. How do we get that salary? Like, how does that?
That's an operational, that's like, well, it's like.
I know, but how do we get to, like, how do we say 65,000?
Well, let me start by, the program itself, they're asking to have this is not working, to run. They would like to have a full-time director. But, as you know, the way this thing is, if it comes to fruition, it's to grow over 4 years to 400. By the fourth year, to be a full-time director. So, in my view, the first year, we need someone part-time, the first 2 years. So the 60% represents a part-time person. If it grows to a full-time position, then it'll be equivalent to probably like an associate principal salary. So we have a freshman school with Mr. Donovan, for example, that AP doing that. We have an AP and API, which is in charge of instruction. Then we have an AP in charge of every one of the floors. Right? So this will have its own enclave, much like a freshman school, with a director, full-time, in 4 years. But to get there, I couldn't see how I could support having a full-time director. So part-time plays for about 40% and benefits, I think is the way you figure it out.
Correct. We pegged it off the coordinator's salary inside the administrative rank. Step one is $112,000. We take roughly half of that, plus its benefits and FICA inside that. So it's, we try to get an estimate as best we can.
I'm going to, now for the board's information, the early college is a collaboration. That's key, the form of partnership with the businesses. It's our goal to have that salary at least 50% underwritten with cobbling together 2 or 3 different foundations. So our hope is even if it's full-time, it might be 40 or 50,000 from the board, 40 or 50,000 from the community, where the businesses that are supporting the internships and the rest. It's built on that premise, but that's how we arrive to the salary.
Okay.
Which means we have to post it and go through all that stuff. We have no one in mind, but that's
Because I had some questions on that, so,
Yeah.
from people, just how do you get there, since it's new for next year, but.
Yeah, well, basically, in a sense, 112 in half, and then you back up the medical and the FICA, and that's with the 60.
I say something else.
Yes, of course you may. Of course you may. This thing doesn't count.
Just in terms of the overall budget, I am going to vote yes, but I do so very reluctantly, very hesitant towards this. It's much bigger increase than I think any of us really would like to see. I mean, we wish we could just fully fund anything, but, you know, nearly 5%, $6 million more than last year. It's grown $12 million since what the council voted on 3 years ago. But what justifies it, for me at least, is that so much of this increase is beyond our control. Salary increase, contractual salary increases, health insurance. I'm happy to see a big investment in special ed. We have to help those most vulnerable, so it's good to see that. But it is a much higher increase than I'd like to see, but long term, I don't know how we continue down this path. I mean, we just had a presentation now and then at the meeting a couple hours ago. How do we maintain this? I don't know. I don't know if maybe the Bloom Shapiro study, the Smart Gov thing, will bring some proposals forward for us to consider. Hopefully they will. I don't know if that will really do enough, but I guess it's a step in the right direction if they do come up with something. But I don't know. But for now, I will support it and we will see where it goes.
Okay, there've been not many meetings, but a lot of meetings where we discuss the budget to great length. That's why I want to make sure that people have their questions all answered. I appreciate your questions. Some of those things were explained, like the special ed piece. A lot of it's not under our control. It's outside things. So that's frightening because it's very frightening. And Rose, you have a question.
Could you, Joe, tell me what was our increase?
Please speak into your mic.
What was the increase from the 2000, this is 14, 15, so what was our increase this year compared to the year before? So from 2000, 2014, 15 is this school year. So 2013, 2014 to 2014, 2015, what was that increase?
Your increase for in the 14-15 budget was 2.78%,
Okay.
or was actually 3.5 million was the increase.
Okay, but 2.7. Okay, that's good.
Page 20 in your book's got, in a sense, the history since 2000 in the increases.
I don't know if this is comforting or not, but the good news here anyway is our self-insurance. We will monitor that. That when May comes about, when the mayor finally tells us what our approved budget will be, there can be further adjustments. Every 1% on that is 230,000. I mean, so right now, what we put in, what's the percentage?
We have 4.7% increase for health. We did have what is I call a confirming month for January claims. So in a sense, it confirms our trend. We will see February, March, and April will, in a sense, give us a much better picture as we further into the HSA cycles of the high deductible plans. But right now, January did reconfirm the 4.7. No major movement afoot there, but again, we'll know once we get a couple more months in that. Because as I said, we did a very large July claim of, in a sense, double our normal claim month. So we're trying to see how that lays into the year. And the special ed point, obviously, that's a growing cost. Many districts now are facing a lot of increased costs in that. You're using the papers, it's going to be a change.
Mr. Taversack, you have a question?
I think you mentioned it. It's gone over before. It's just that looking at everything and, the increased enrollment that we have and everything, it's our duty to try to provide a good education for everybody on that basis. And my feeling is, the reality is it's tough. But sometimes you have to bite the bullet. You have to put it that way. But I don't think it's an extravagant budget. I think it's basically what I'm saying. I think it's meeting the needs that we have.
We have a new school. We have that that works building on things like that that are very costly. That everything costs money. All righty, is there any other discussion? Yes, Kathy, I'm so sorry.
I was just wondering if Dr. Sal would like to update the full board on the conversation that the mayor had with us this evening on looking at other avenues with the state, or not?
Well, I'm trying, just in general, we were talking about the additions, and the brick and mortar would be one part of it, and that could be a struggle in itself, but trying to work with the state and getting more reimbursement. The challenge that the mayor was talking about was the ongoing operational piece. We would open it up. So right now, we're trying to work with the turnaround office for some of the innovative programs to do in the high school that they like. They've mentioned to us that they like the work that we're doing. They might be able to provide us $1.5, $2 million in brick and mortar to the project. We also have been working with them for PD work, but the mayor's idea is to try to go and speak to Hartford and present to the leadership there. Here's Danbury, a growing community. It has really been doing its bit in terms of building program. We have some innovative programs. Would they, in fact, do what they've done in other communities, such as Bridgeport, New Haven, where they were putting structures together on 90 cents on a dollar, where it's costing us 62 cents on a dollar. You know, so if even we can come up with 22% more, it's quite a savings to the taxpayers, therefore lessening the impact of the operational yearly. So that's, we spoke with the mayor to try to get up to Hartford. Bill and myself will be talking to the turnaround office. So those are our efforts to do that.
Excuse me, what is the turnaround office?
It's an office that was, it's, they work with us on the Alliance Grant, for example, on closing the achievement gap. They've just put the name on it called Turnaround Office, and they have a director. And then they provide grants to do that work.
They spin with no place to go. There you go. All righty, thank you. We're all talked out on the budget. Anybody have anything else they'd like to say? Because I'm going to bring it to a vote. All righty. Motion one more time. Kathy, you want to read it?
That the Board of Education adopt the superintendent's fiscal year 2015-2016 budget in the amount of $127,529,440, a 4.89% increase for submission to the mayor as required by city charter in accordance with 15-33.
Seconded by Mr. Taversack. Any more discussion? Seeing none, I'll try your minds. All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Any abstentions? Passes. Thank you very much. God bless the mayor. Please. Okay. So that's good. All right, we're moving right into the superintendent's report. Dr. Cascarella.
The only thing I did want to talk to you about is that we have a group that's going to a conference to talk about the coherence plan, the work that the board has done in your planning, and the alignment of those goals and objectives with the teachers and administrators. That presentation will take place for the State Department. It goes to what I was saying before, Kathy. That's some of the recognition of the work that you've all done and helped us to do that's really making a difference. Other than that, I'll look at Bill. Do you have anything at this time?
The only thing I'd like to share, the board always wants to know about the application process for magnet school.
Can we update you on that?
So we have AIS, we don't have West Side yet.
Bye, thank you for coming.
I'm sorry?
I'm sorry. I'm shouting at people coming out the door, going out the
Oh,
door.
oh. Bye, Chrissy.
I'm so proud of my first.
We are too.
He has graduated, right?
I got his diploma, actually.
Oh, good. I think he's blessed. Can't have fun. There's no point doing this. Go ahead.
I won't bore you by walking you through it. It's pretty clear. You've seen this matrix before, but I do know that each year the board requests a breakout, so we've provided that at a granular level for you now.
Thank you.
Sure.
Yes. Sorry. No, I'm sorry.
Will I had somebody call me the other night, frantic, because they had applied to, what they thought they had applied to West Side, but they didn't get a confirmation or a number, so they applied again. So they're just wondering, and I didn't have the answer to this, if they actually applied twice to both Global and STEM, will one of their applications be kicked off, or both? Like, they were very nervous about this.
If it's what I'm thinking, it was taken care of today. They called, they got a voicemail, or they got an answering machine, and then my secretary got back to them because I got an email on it, and I asked her, and she said it's taken care of already. So if that's the issue, I believe that's already set.
Okay, I'll answer.
If not, just give me the person's name, and then we'll follow
Yeah,
up.
just very.
So I think today is the last day, is it, or tomorrow?
It's Friday, I think.
Friday is the last day, so we have time to ruminate. So that's okay. Hey, if you take a look at this, there were some reduced seats from Newtown because their enrollments are declining. The non-compact school simply means, you can see we have 15 from Bethel. The law changed 3 years ago, which was giving parents permission to essentially go around their local boards, apply directly to the magnet school, right? Okay, and that's what those 15s represent. Then you have one from Oxford, Stanford, Sherman, and so forth. The reimbursement levels put a smile on his face over there greatly, because it really sustains our expenditure for that. The amount of money is $3,000 for every one of our students, and then $7,500 for ascending district. So keeping those numbers up. But the overall have to be in they say a 70-30, but we're in a 60-40 mix. If we go beyond the critical point of 70%, we lose all funding. So we're within our realm. Now, we don't know how many of these students are going to accept.
No, we don't.
Remember that. These are just done. The invitations will go out to parents. Parents get to decide yes or no, and then we go to the waiting list, the way this works. Okay.
Is that it for your report, Dr. Sun?
I'm looking at, I just want to make sure, Joe, do you have anything on the schools? Nothing. We had some heating problems at a few of the buildings, right? Yeah. We're working on that. We've got an issue over at Sacred Heart on some space challenges. The council is working with us. We think we'll be able to accommodate next week after the council meets on our request. Other than that, I think that's it. Kim?
Yeah, nothing
Good.
else. I'm saving my comments
Okay.
for later.
None, ma'am.
Okay. Alrighty.
That's why we have the pizza tonight.
Based on room right into my report, which it's almost non-existent. What I do need, though, is I had a request, and I would find it interesting also. So I'd like to see a copy of the administration to please provide the board members with a copy of the organizational chart for the Denver Public School System. That's from right down from our superintendents, our cabinet, right down to our coaches, and what people do and who they report to. And I didn't need people's names. I don't know what they're called.
We have an organizational chart with all the AP and staff. I mean, that one there.
Yeah, that's what I would like to see.
Oh, okay, that one there. I'll get you.
Well, no, because we'll talk about,
You know, jumping department heads?
I saw it.
Right. I would like, it was my request, because I am getting confused about who is reporting to whom, or what the whole configuration is. And I would like to know, there's like someone at both middle schools doing something. I just want to see the whole thing.
So why don't we at the next meeting do a presentation on the flow chart? Is that?
Your presentation, you could just use a piece of paper with the, right? The breakdown.
Well, I guess I just want to be explicit about what you're asking for. We all know we have a principal, we all know we have assistant principals. And then assistant principals have department chairmen that report to them, and then we have, obviously, the teachers. So I mean, I have that chart. If that's what you're asking for, yes. but if there's more detail, you need to ask me so I get you the right information. You said coaches, I misunderstood what you meant.
Do you have one that starts from, okay, Dr. Sal?
Yeah.
That's what you're talking
Is that what you're talking about?
Right,
It's
but I
org chart.
wanted to
But she
go
wants it
all the way
delineated.
down
What?
to, we put in a lot of extra people to help our teachers.
Yes.
I want to see where those people are and what, I want to see how they fit into.
So I can answer a lot of that. So we have, the obvious central office piece exists already. So that's the central office. Then we have, and that's probably a 6-page document. So it includes not only the people that you see around the table, how ELP fits in, how all those early childhood fits into those components. Then we have a series of organizational charts that tries to get at exactly what you're talking about, only though it doesn't, for example, list teachers. It tries to address the overlap in reporting, for example, teachers with department heads, SIAP coaches, job, and just a forewarning that it's a very difficult chart to create. And I actually worked for quite a long time with the administrators union and with the teachers union, trying with dotted lines and dashed lines, because once we started to blur the lines, so for example, you may have math coaches in the elementary schools that report to a bunch of different building administrators, but they also have responsibilities to curriculum coordinators, so they have a series of responsibilities. So it doesn't lend itself to a horizontal chart. There's lots of dotted lines. I will happily bring what I have, just with the caveat that given the amount of overlap now with all of those content areas, that it doesn't lend itself to a really pretty chart, but I can certainly bring you what I've got.
Right, I just need something to help me understand it all.
Because
I'm a
they
visual person, so charts are visual.
So am I, and they report to different people for different things. That's why it's so hard to get it onto one piece of paper. But I absolutely can.
Well, interesting, we did have teachers ask us, particularly at the middle school, because we had put in the coaches.
Yeah.
You know, they were a little, you know, who was on first, basically.
Yeah.
So that's why we did that, but we have that.
Yeah.
I would just like to see.
But, yeah.
That's
That's
fine.
a good idea, that's a good idea.
But so does everybody else.
Oh, okay.
See, I don't know if you picked that up. So
Yeah.
Kind of why
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
But it's actually, it's all in, and we've used it in a number of different contexts, so it's easy enough to show it to you.
Thank you. And thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah, that makes
We'll
sense.
include it next time.
That would be good. All right, okay, oh, it's still my turn. All right, here's the deal. Friday morning, there's a breakfast in Newtown. It's called the Area 5 Breakfast.
Excuse me, are you sure it's Newtown? The printout there. The reason I'm saying, I think she looked into it, and I don't think it's in Newtown. They may have rescheduled it. You better look at Debbie's notes. You mean the K breakfast?
K Breakfast.
Okay.
Area 5 Legislative Breakfast.
Is it Newtown?
Yes, it's the council chambers of the Newtown Municipal Center at Freedom House. And it's on 2/13, which is Friday, at 7:30 in the morning until 5:30 in the morning. I would like to respond with more than one or two of us going. I believe we're the largest school district in Area 5. Jump in, Sally, and tell us.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
7th largest in the state.
And we're seven, yeah, that's, so, and, you know, we're very seldom at anything. All our legislators will be there. We're asking for everybody to move mountains for us this year to get money for building and for everything else. We need to be a presence. Joe Martino has told me that he will give us talking points, not just for the legislative breakfast, but for when we go amongst the people, as I like to say. Okay? Amongst the people. We actually have something that we can take that budget of all of that money, maybe it's just translated into English, all right, for people that aren't numbered. Okay? Joe said he'll give us palm cards, all right? We are all familiar with palm cards.
Football players.
No, they're just palm cards.
7:30 to 9:30.
It's 7:30 to 9:30? Okay, so I have Richard going.
When is it?
Richard, Friday morning, 7:30.
This Friday?
Yes, this Friday. I've only talked about it 2 or 3 or 4 times.
I've never, first time I've ever heard.
Oh, okay, perhaps you were missing, or I wasn't speaking loud enough.
I wasn't listening.
Or you were
Quite
not
possible.
listening, but I did not say that. I took the onus on myself. So, did you say you were coming?
I'll have to check, I gotta see what I got that morning.
All right, because I sort of have to tell them ahead of time how many people are coming.
Okay, then no.
Oh,
I can't.
well, you can tell me tomorrow. Can you tell me tomorrow?
I'll let you know tomorrow.
Okay, thank you, I would appreciate it. Okay, so Al, Sal, are you coming? Al?
No,
That's your new
I will
name,
not be here.
Al, buddy,
Yeah,
no? Michael? Phyllis?
I'm not thinking I'm going.
Why, because it's 7, well, but it's 7, we need to go, guys, we really need to get out there and put our time, our bodies where our mouths should be, okay? David?
I have to look into it.
Okay, did you let me know tomorrow so I could register us? Okay, I know you can't go, and you're a no. Richard said yes, I'm going, Richard Woolley is going. So, but
And Joe's given us cue cards before Friday.
There is some information that we've gotten from
In the
Kate,
car ride up.
and some information, we've gotten some caps that we could give you to speak to, much like when we remember, we had a meeting
that's
here.
what I
We had that meeting here, it's the same kind of, it'll be in a different form, but we could resurrect that and
well,
give you
we
that.
need to be there again. You need to be right there in their faces going, hi. Hi, remember being after their break? Okay, where we need your help.
Joe, you can get the material that we got and got.
Thank you. If you could, I'll come by and pick it up so I can hand it to everybody as we're walking in, okay? All right, and I promise I won't wear my cheerleader outfit. I will not wear my
I mean,
cheerleader outfit.
as long as you're going to talk about, one of the things I think you need to be mindful of is that, be very careful about the money follows the children kind of thing. And there is some action in Hartford to allow that kind of opening. It's it's the charter stuff and all of that. I think, if that's your thinking, I'm not gonna, all I'm saying, just be aware that when that conversation comes up, money follows the children, that's what they're talking about, okay? Right now, we, as I mentioned before, at this magnet school, there are those who would like to remove the subsidy that you get for your students here, because you already get an ECS, so they want to stop that. There are others that want to distribute it differently. And there's a lot of uneasiness with Alliance District because we have got share of the money in terms of NCS money. So they're looking at ways of dispersing that money. So just be mindful when you go there, the conversations that are going on.
Dr. Pascarella, we're not stupid.
Yeah, I'm not saying you are.
And on a whole, we represent the district rather well, and we try.
Some of
We
these-
just need to get our bodies to where the other people are.
And some of these things are couched into language that sounds about them. That's all I'm saying. I'm not, I'm just watching out for my kids here.
So anyone who'd like to come to the breakfast and not throw our kids under the bus are more than welcome to come with me. Thank you very much. Yes?
Any demonstration?
Here comes the bus.
Pardon? I can't be the...
Nobody's coming
I
from our
can't go on
administration
Friday.
either, so.
But unless you want to go on Friday, it's up to you, Newtown.
What do you got hot going on?
I have no idea.
Friday morning.
Lately, most days I
No.
keep the full
Trying to find a babysitter.
Just City Hall.
And then close tomorrow, too.
Yes, okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I have directions here to get there. Optimistically, someone copied me to like 15 copies. Why, do you need it? Oh,
the direction.
Richard. I'm going to take a direction.
Yes.
Just in case.
Can I send you one like that?
Oh, I'm sorry. That's okay.
It went to David just in case.
Oh, West.
Oh, I know.
You know what?
How's that going? How's that going? He's busy. There's a lot more
It'll be
important.
a 2-hour
Across from
delay.
the governor's horse.
All right. Thank you very much. That's all I have to say to you all. Oh, does anybody have any reports that they'd like to tell us about, Kathy? You want to talk about policy in 2 minutes?
Policy committee was, tonight, we are going to meet again before the next board meeting because we still have updates to talk about for the acceptable use policy, and the committee took a consensus to recommend to the full board not to have any draft change to our current attendance policy. That's all I have.
All right, anybody else have anything? No? Bye. Thank you for coming. All right, that's it, seeing none.
Motion to adjourn.
No, we're not adjourning yet, executive session.
Executive session today?
Adjourn to executive session.
Yes,
Not that efficient.
seconded.
Okay.
All right.
Executive session?
All in favor?
Let's go to it.
Let's get, go. Move it along. 3:05. Keep on here.
I have to let everybody know.
Not allowed.
I volunteer.